recreation. In our state, there's a tradition of bringing stakeholders together to protect special places. President Obama signed a number of our bills early in 2009 that came about because all over Oregon, folks got together and tried to work and find common ground. And you look at a lot of these, protected landscapes, and the fact of the matter is these landscapes are just magnets for recreation. They're incredibly valuable to the economy, and that's why when a group of citizens can come together and protect a treasure and also do it in a way that folks did on the road with scores of businesses, supporting it, I think you're showing that particularly right now in a tough economy, people see recreation really as a path to some jobs and economic vitality that's much needed often in rural areas that are hard hit. So we thank you for your favorable comment. Mr. Strahan, it is a long trek from beautiful Grants Pass to Washington, D.C., and we really appreciate your coming. We'll make your prepared remarks a part of the record, and if each of you could take 5 minutes. Mr. Strahan, thank you, and go ahead.
Honorable Chairman Wyden and fellow members of the Subcommittee on Public Lands, thank you for inviting me to testify regarding S 2001, a bill to expand the rogue wilderness and add additional wild and scenic river designations to tributaries along the lower road corridor in the state of Oregon. It is truly an honor to be here today to speak in favor of this legislation. As Honorable Senator Wyden said, my name is Dave Strahan, and I live in Grants Pass, Oregon, where I was born. Grants Pass is a city that straddles the road with a population of around 35,000 people in a region of over 300,000 people. The Rogue has long been an international draw for tourists. It has also provided sanctuary for notable celebrities over the years. Our river has provided inspiration for George Foreman, Zane Grey, and countless other river lovers. Zane Grey proclaimed the historic beauty of this area and made it his part-time home. The happiest lot of any angler, wrote Grey, would be to live somewhere along the banks of the Rogue River, the most beautiful stream of Oregon. Growing up, the Rogue and its watersheds provided my family and me countless hours of outdoor recreation and enjoyment. Family camping, fishing, hunting, and boating is what we did when I was growing up, as was the case with most of my peers. Many of my fondest memories include time spent on or near our river, and I continue to create those memories today with my own family. When I graduated from high school in 1972, the majority of my friends moved to larger cities to take advantage of more varied education and employment opportunities. My love of the Rogue, its watersheds, and all that they have to offer compelled me to stay in the Rogue Valley and create a life for myself and to raise my family. My oldest daughter will make me a grandfather in May, and my youngest graduates from high school this spring. When I die, I hope to leave a Rogue River that my kids, my grandkids, and their peers can continue to build memories around for generations to come. While attending college in Ashland, Oregon, another Rogue Basin community, I began selling sporting goods as a retail clerk part-time in 1975. Since that time, I have made my living in support of my family selling outdoor recreation equipment in the sporting goods industry. I have the best job in the world selling the tools for the activities I so enjoy and have been such a large part of my life in one of the most beautiful and bountiful regions of our great nation. Since 1995, I have proudly been a territory salesman for Big Rock Sports. Big Rock Sports is the largest distributor of sporting goods in the nation. Big Rock Sports, headquartered in Morehead City, North Carolina, provides well-paying jobs all across our country with facilities in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Montana, California, and Oregon. We partner with and help thousands of small family businesses throughout the country and proudly present the values and culture that are such an important part of our country's heritage and quality of life. But my passion for being here today is not just about me, my career, and my love of the Rogue and all it has to offer. I am also here today representing the 110 Oregon businesses and organizations that support expansion of the wild Rogue wilderness. I also speak for the Northwest Sport Fishing Industry Association, a Northwest industry group made up of approximately 300 outdoor recreation businesses in the Pacific Northwest. A 2009 economic study by Econ Northwest, an economic analyst group, estimates the economic benefits generated from fishing, whitewater rafting, and hiking along the Rogue River brought in an annual income of over $18.1 million to our region. The Rogue Basin's local economy, culture, and heritage is based on the Rogue River and its supporting watersheds. With all this in mind, it is with great passion and great deal of empathy for the hundreds of businesses in our region, as well as our quality of life in the Rogue Basin and the entire Pacific Northwest, that I urge you to advance Senate S 2001 and work to ensure that our irreplaceable Rogue River and its supporting watersheds are protected for future generations. Thank you for your time. And once again, I thank Senator Wyden and all of you for the opportunity to speak on something that is so important to me. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for a very helpful
Mr.
statement.
Strahan, you mentioned an economic study in your testimony, and you have heard me refer a number of times this afternoon to kind of the economic value of the treasures, the economic value of the river. What can you tell us in terms of kind of fleshing out what you all have found in terms of the economic benefits as a result of this legislation for businesses in your area?
Well, in 2008, Econ Northwest conducted a study of the economics of the Wild Rogue section, and they determined that just within this section that's being addressed in your bill has brought to us over $18 million in economic benefits in Southern Oregon, as well as 300 plus full and part-time jobs. And then when one extrapolates that and looks further upriver, which is also a wild and scenic river designation, but it's managed differently under the BLM, we found that there was a $30 million economic input to our region there and across the state of Oregon. So clearly, the wild and scenic and wilderness designation has been paramount in the economics of Southern Oregon. And then the neat thing that we need to remember about these sorts of this sort of legislation and these sorts of resources is that these fish bring jobs wherever they go. As a territory salesman of sporting goods, I've witnessed since 1975 the impact on the Southern Oregon coast. We're talking Brookings, Gold Beach, Coos Bay. Our Rogue River fish provide ocean fisheries in that manner, as well as when they migrate upstream, we have a recreation income coming from Gold Beach, Grants Pass, Gold Hill, Rogue River, Medford, Oregon. And besides the direct impact to my industry and to what we do, we have restaurants, we have convenience stores, we have gas stations. It's just a very large, encompassing economic benefit to the region.
A long afternoon, and you all have been patient. I always like to give our witnesses the last word. What I'm struck by, as I listen to my colleagues ask questions, is not only is there a sense of protecting these special places and recognizing that there's economic benefit. You've heard senators say again and again they are looking at the kind of work and the kind of effort that goes into these. I mean, a bill that is going to be sustained with popular support, in the West, doesn't happen by osmosis. I mean, these are issues that can get people polarized and off in separate corners pretty darn quickly. And what you all have shown in a lot of these issues that we've dealt with, and it's sort of a common theme, is an ability to get beyond that. And that, in my view, is making policy in the West at its best. All right. Strahan, I understand you'd like to say something.
Yes, sir, and thank you for the opportunity.
Only fitting that Oregon have the last word.
Well, I think
tried.
so, too.
Go ahead.
Anyway, just to kind of play upon what you're saying in terms of collaboration and negotiation, I wanted to point out that this particular bill is not being opposed by the American American Forest Resource Council. Through an unprecedented negotiation with conservation, they have agreed not to oppose this. And I think it plays into the importance of a diverse economy. We can have a timber industry and we can have a recreation industry. And I think we'd all agree that a diverse economy creates a stable economy. And I'd just like to leave you with that thought, and thank you once again for the opportunity.